Thanks for tuning in to ARIRANG News. I'm Devin Whiting in Seoul. The United States has renewed its pledge to defend South Korea through so-called extended deterrence to counter the growing threat from Pyongyang. The pledge was made during talks between the allies' foreign and defense chiefs. Kim Hyun-bin has the updates from Washington, D.C.
The focus of the so-called 2+2 talks between South Korea's Foreign Minister Yoon Byung-se and Defense Minister Han Min-gu and their American counterparts John Kerry and Ashton Carter was on strengthening the U.S. extended deterrence policy against North Korea's ever-growing nuclear and missile threats, as well as maximizing the effectiveness of the sanctions on the regime. Speaking at a press conference after the talks, Yoon said North Korea needs to give up its nuclear ambitions or suffer the consequences.
Seoul and Washington have agreed that if North Korea does not give up its nuclear prowess, we'll make them pay dearly. We'll use all methods to pressure the regime, including sanctions.
Kerry said that Washington will do everything to defend South Korea and emphasized the need to speed up the planned deployment of a U.S. missile defense system to the peninsula.
There should be no doubt that the United States will do whatever is necessary to defend ourselves and to honor the security commitments that we have made to allies, including the Republic of Korea. And we will deploy as soon as possible a terminal high-altitude area defense battery to our Korean ally.
Carter emphasized that the U.S. is committed to providing extended deterrence, guaranteed by the full spectrum of U.S. defense capabilities. He warned Pyongyang that the use of any nuclear weapons will come at a massive price.
Make no mistake, any attack on America or our allies will not only be defeated, but also any use of nuclear weapons will be met with an overwhelming and effective response.
The two allies also agreed to enhance extended deterrence by swiftly establishing a new high-level bilateral body called the Extended Deterrence Strategy and Consultation Group. On Thursday, Seoul's Defense Minister Han Min-gu will hold talks with his American counterpart Ashton Carter at the 48th Annual Security Consultative Meeting.
Mr. Han and Secretary Carter are expected to focus on the details of extended deterrence and issues regarding permanently deploying a U.S. strategic asset to the peninsula, as well as the specific time to deploy that to the south by the end of next year. Kim Hyun-bin, ARIRANG News, Washington, D.C.
Just 5 days after North Korea's failed missile launch last weekend, the regime has fired off another one, only to see it too end in failure. The missile is presumed to be a Musudan, the same type of missile Pyongyang tried to launch last week from the same site. The Musudan is a mid-ranged ballistic missile with a maximum distance of some 3,500 kilometers. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff says the missile exploded soon after it was launched at around 7 a.m. local time, near the northwestern city of Gusong. The U.S. Strategic Command says it believes the North launched it in an attempt to make up for its failure on Saturday. Some pundits in South Korea have said the launch appears to be a protest against the Seoul-Washington defense talks, as it was launched immediately after the 2+2 meeting in Washington that ended with a statement warning North Korea against provocations. President Park Geun-hye has called on her secretaries to strengthen Seoul's alliance with Washington to defend against North Korea. And as for corruption allegations involving the presidential office, she offered an official explanation. Song Ji-sun has more on the president's remarks.
President Park says North Korea is standing against humanity, history, and the civilization of mankind and cannot survive. She made her remarks at a regular meeting with her top aides Thursday, held in the shadow of North Korea's latest missile launch attempt. With security talks between South Korea and the United States underway in Washington, President Park said the allies must send a strong warning to Pyongyang as a new U.S. administration is set to take office in January.
확장 억제를 포함한 한미 동맹의 대북 억제 역량을 더욱 가시적이고 실효적으로 담보할 수 있도록 제도적 틀을 강화하고 내실을 다짐으로써 국민들이 한층 신뢰할 수 있도록 해 주기를 바랍니다.
President Park also addressed the recent controversies surrounding her longtime confidant Choi Soon-sil, who is facing corruption allegations related to two foundations. The two organizations raised a large amount of funds from conglomerates in a short period of time and took part in many cultural and sports events related to President Park's overseas trips. The president said participation and the funding from the corporate sector added momentum to our key policy initiatives on the creative economy and cultural prosperity.
이처럼 의미 있는 사업에 대해 의혹이 확산되고 도를 지나치게 인신 공격성 논란이 계속 이어진다면 문화 융성을 위한 기업들의 순수한 참여 의지에 찬물을 끼얹어 기업들도 더 이상 투자를 하지 않을 것이고 한류 문화 확산과 기업의 해외 진출에도 부정적인 영향을 미치게 될 것입니다.
President Park called for an end to the distrust and disputes and ordered a full and transparent investigation into the matter. She again stressed the need for national unity to counter outstanding crises as economic conditions are expected to get worse as uncertainties mount. 송지선, 아리랑 뉴스.
Now, in the race for the White House, Democrat Hillary Clinton and Republican Donald Trump faced off Wednesday night, in their third and final debate. Perhaps the biggest takeaway was Donald Trump refusing to say he'd accept the result of the November 8th presidential election. That refusal was slammed by many commentators as an unprecedented statement for a politician in the U.S., which they note has a long tradition of transferring power peacefully. Trump was also accused by Clinton of being a puppet of the Russian government. Clinton, for her part, was criticized by Trump for allowing the Clinton Foundation to accept donations from countries with poor records on women's rights, like Saudi Arabia. Trump suggested she give the money back. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching. More to come on News Center in 2 hours' time. Bye for now.